Hi everyone, this is Tracy from We Craft at Home, and today I'm really excited because we are doing the new Pinflair Christmas tree. I love it. I don't know how everyone else feels, but I love this. The opportunities. I mean, you know, once you've made it, what you can put inside is just never ending really, isn't it? I love this. So anyway, as before, set all your separate bits out so that you know where you are. I've also pre-cut some of the fabric ready for the first part and made sure I've cut equal out of that, and you just follow the rules. So let's get started. So we're going to start with the first bit of the book that tells you to lay 2 squares that size, the smaller square, and then there's one a bit longer. I'm going to say be careful when you measure the squares, because I've done it 3 times and still thought I had one of the square sets missing, but I just wasn't measuring accurately enough. So make sure that you've got everything you need before you start doing any cuts or anything like that. So this is what we're making first of all. You need 8 of them, so I've gone ahead and done the other 7, and I've just left one so I can show you how to do it. Although it is very easy. When you look at the book you sort of go, huh? But once you read through it, it is so simple to follow. So for the first one, you're having 2 10 by 10 centimetre squares, one that's 10 by, I think it's 58, and one that's 107 by 10. So make sure this one is the right way round, because if it's that way round it's too big. So, and they're going to lay like this. Okay? So all you're going to do is stick them down right next to each other, no gaps. I know usually we use gaps, but no gaps this time. It tells you to cut your material in 12, I'm just going to check so I don't say it wrong, 12.5 centimetre strips. So you're going to need 8 for this, and then you probably need it for the others as well. But I've only cut 8 so far myself. So stick your first one down, and then as you go along, remember, go easy on the glue. I'm probably using too much still. So you're going to lay it side by side going along. I'm so glad I'm finally getting my new craft room. I can't hardly move in this one. Okay, so that's them all stuck down, and then as you can see, because I just got the material and cut it in strips, I have this little square piece left at the end of every one. And I've kept it in case I need it. I just hope I haven't made another mistake and cut too much. Okay, and then what we're going to do is just go and miter the edges. So just I'm not being in any way perfect here. So we've got rid of that. And then I'm going to change to the little so we're just going to stick the edges down. There we go. Don't want too much. Just going to release a little bit everywhere. Might be a bit better. So okay, so we've got that strip, and then for these, now this one I didn't measure, but all the others I did. So you make sure you've got 8 going that way and 8 going that way. There we go. You might have glue smothered hands by the end of it. So again, you miter the edges, just cut corners so they don't overlap. Obviously this one I've got to take this strip off first. And then we'll just go round and So we do that again. We'll go around the whole edges. So we've got both of them covered, so now we've got to put glue and stick them together. That is what the next instruction says. So this is also something you've got to do 8 times. Stick them together. If I was you, I would give drying time, but because I'm doing the video, I'm just doing it all straight away. So then you're going to bend this inwards like this. The little piece you want up here, not down here, so you want it the third one up. And then what I done, I put it against the board so that I can see where the central line is, and then I use this little one. It says take one of the pieces from step 1 and glue step 2 pieces in the center and take it all the way round, gluing it as you go. So I'm just going to put the glue on now all the way around the edges. Again, don't go thinking that more glue will be more stick. It doesn't tend to work like that. The more glue you put on, the longer it takes to take hold. So try and be really tight as you can with the glue. Now it doesn't say to stick this end on, but what I found easier was to, let's just, so it's on the 5, make sure it's at the back, and you're going to kind of fold it over all the bits you've just glued. But I found it easier to just stick a bit of glue on the end of this, just to help it stick that little bit better on the end. So there we go, and don't worry because it dries clear, so if you make a bit of a mess it doesn't matter. Look in the centre to make sure there's no gaps that need to be pushed down, and you need to hold it to about the count of 10. So that is the worst part because you need 8 of them. So the next bit, it says, so you need the 100 by 100 again, and then you need the 100 by 83. So it goes 100 by 100, 100 by 83, 100 by 100, 100 by 83. Because these are square, these are the 3 square boxes in the middle, so you need to make 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do roughly the same thing, but it's going to be square instead of hexagon. So let me just get myself prepared and we'll go on to the next bit. Well, as you can see, I've gone ahead and got the 2 of the square boxes done, and then I've left it just to show you. You're going to put 2 of the squares together like before. So glue on one side, not too much. Supposing if it's white, it's too much. It's like you have to scrape it back off again. And then you're going to glue it that side, and remember, I'm going to have a look at the book to make sure I'm doing it the right way round. So first of all, we're going to glue all the sides. So again, it's the same thing as before, just a different shape, but I thought I'd go over it with you just so that you were confident. Because I know it can. Okay. If we do it from this side, I know it's that way. And then we just want to glue the top of that. It doesn't say you have to, but just closes it off properly for me. So I've just glued the rim of that as well. And it sits right nicely like that. So it goes right in like that. So that's it, you've got 3 squares. And then you've got the triangle. So the same thing, cover them both, stick them together. The difference with this one is when you glue it all, when you glue all the ends, you're not going to wrap it round like you did the other 2. Instead, you're going to fold it so it's, can you see, the triangle is longer on the 2 sides than the bottom. So you're going to get the middle one and then fold up the 2 sides to that, like that. Right, so then we turn over. And this is where I realised I had made a mistake. Although it doesn't state it clearly at the front, I'm just going to go through it quickly. Because it's one of the last things you do, you don't really think about it until the last bit. So the next page is like this. When I was at the front, the first thing it says, I don't know if you can see it clearly there, it says cut the fabric into 12.5 centimetre strips. But it doesn't tell you which way to cut it, and I cut it with a length like that. I cut it that way, and you're meant to cut it that way. So out of a full strip you get 4 long strips, and then you'd have had enough to do that bit. The ones that go out from now will have the direct instructions on there, but when I called her and said I must have done something wrong, she explained to me that a few people had done the same thing, so they've changed the instructions so that everyone knows from now on. So I have not got enough material right now to do this bit and this bit. I managed to do that in 2 bits. So I'm waiting for the material and we can finish the tree there. But for now we can put the rest of it, apart from the triangle at the top, we can put the rest of it together. I thought I might as well do that. So what it is, you have 2 that you're going to stick together like that. So we've stuck it together like that, but then it goes upside down. So if I show you the picture of the tree, it's the bottom of the tree, so the big bit goes on the top. And then you can see we've got 2 squares and then 2 sides. So I'm going to put 2 squares together. I'll leave the one I just done so it can dry a little bit more. So 2 squares, but we will also put glue on the bottom. Okay, that one came undone as well. So that didn't work, did it? Okay, so we've got 2 squares together that go in the centre like that. And then as the picture goes, we have 2 sides on the outside. Now this, I will stick the outside of this and then I think I'll stick the bottom of this. Hopefully it will give the glue a bit extra on there as well. It's come undone. Can you see? So it goes like that. Just going to hold it tight for a minute. And then one on the other side. So just them few boxes there, and we've got that already. Now the next line says the box in the middle and two sides. Do that again. So you need a bit on the bottom. So it'll go in the centre of them two. And then the bottom and the side of one of these, or two of these, so it goes one each side. Like that. So again, the bottom and the larger side, or the straight side, shall I say, if that makes sense. So you got the bottom and the straight side that you're gluing. Squeeze tight so that it all sticks together. So now it looks like that. And then you've just got the last two side shaped ones that are going to go back to back and sit on top. So again, the straight side and the bottom. Okay. So I am just going to go out a little bit so that you can see. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Oops. Yeah. Don't move it while it's still drying. You can see. But because there is a bit at the end that you're wrapping stuff around it to hold it all together. And that should tighten it all up nicely anyway. So, that's as far as I've got. I have got the triangle for the top, but it has an extra layer around it that I haven't done yet. So that would go there. And then there's a big wrap round there and one that comes around here, which we will do soon. I'll let this dry and then hoping the material will be here by then. Okay, if you have any issues with the material, I think if you just get in touch, they'll help you out. But yeah, cut it into 4 long strips of 12.5 and then you'll be sorted. It will fit perfectly. Okay, I've been saved. She sent me some more material, so I've stuck all the bits I need to. We'll do the rest of the triangle first. So if you remember, the first bit we had to do was put the triangle bit in the middle and bring both the sides up to glue it. So the next bit, it says, I'm just looking, take this piece and glue around. Oh, so it's just extra support. Does it matter what way you go? It's done it the other way, but I think I'll do it that way. Okay, the picture shows that round that way, but I think I'll do it round that way. Because this bit that glues together, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be seen, is it? Just in case. I'm going to do it this way round. Make sure it's evenly in the middle. Even space both sides. And then I'm getting to the bottom of my glue again. Okay, so this has actually been a pleasure to do. It is far easier than when you first look at it and think there is no way. It looks so complicated, but it really, really is not. Right, I am just going to glue the edge of that so that it sticks to the other edge and hopefully closes together. And then that obviously sticks at the top of the tree, so I'm going to do that. I'll put it on the top of the tree. Okay, you can just about see that's the top of the tree. So I'll put the glue there, otherwise I'll be putting it on complete material. I think it will stick better if I put it on the card. Okay, so the top of the tree is now on. I'm going to pull it out in a minute so you can see it clearer. So there we go. I'm sorry, I've only got a tiny bit of space, so showing you. Okay, so that is the tree put together and finished. So the next bit is the big bit around the outside. Now what I'd done, I had enough material to do mine in 2 parts. I'm not sure if that was a good idea or not. But what I might do is, because you can see why they tell you not to, you get this big gap at the top. But I might stick something extra on there, like a star. So that was my way of thinking. What I should have done was wait for the material that she was sending me, but us crafters, we're impatient, aren't we? So glue up both sides, or on the actual piece, whatever you find easier. I'm at the bottom of my tub now. I use a lot of this. Not I use too much when I'm doing it. I do a lot of stuff with it, so. It takes so quickly, it glues so easily. You can't see if you've come over because it dries clear. It's just so much easier to use. Okay, so I've just put a peg on each level, if you like. Let's see the top. That's going to be too thick for this, isn't it? Alright, I'm going to hold the top. Now for this side, I am going to try gluing the actual piece and see if that's a bit easier. That way you can see which is easier to do, or what works better. Okay. this sticks better. Yeah, gluing the actual piece seems to stick far, far better. I don't know if it would be easier like on its side to do, like this. And then we'll turn it over and push down on the other side. We'll leave that to dry for a minute. Where's that peg gone? Okay, now that's nice and dry. One last piece, and it's this bit. I wanted to explain a bit because the middle bit is still the thick card because it's going on the bottom here. The rest of it is just the thin card like we just put around the tree. So if you're wondering how it goes, it's the thick piece in the middle. It doesn't really explain that in the I was going to say ingredients, sorry. It doesn't explain that in the directions, so I just wanted to explain in case you was a bit confused. I guess once we've done this, then you decide what exactly you're going to do with it. Are you going to decorate it a little bit more, bling it up maybe? What I didn't think about before, which is a shame, but as you're putting the material on, in between here, if you put lights, I bet, so that you've got lights on every shelf, I bet that would look stunning. But I've put it all together now, so I'm not taking it apart to add lights. Just do the edges because you want it to stick properly. So it just fits like this, can you see? So you put the bottom on and then these just fit around there. It's just extra support for the underneath. This is what I like about the Pinflair stuff. They make sure there is plenty of support for all your things. And you can't really go wrong, can you? It's like magic. Okay, so that is actually the kit itself finished. Let me just pan out a bit so you can see it a bit better. There we go. I'm really happy with that. That was fairly simple to make. It's all the same thing, just different shapes. And then you stick it all together and that's it. So now you decide what you want to put in there. If you want to bling up the sides like this. Might be nice with strips of gems or just some ribbon or whatever. Bit of lace. And then decide what you're going to put in it. And of course, you've got to put it in it both sides. So, I love this. I am so glad I got this. Okay, I hope you all have fun with yours. Thank you for watching, everyone, and Merry Christmas.